we straight chillin', serial killing, pre-core villains on the mic, got you reeling. 5-star rated from the floor to the ceiling. If you catch a 1-star, no time for feelings. Got a demon DJ on the ones and twos by the name Elzebub, so don't get confused. So grab a seat by the fire, roast them all over two, and prepare to hear the legend of the straight chillin' crew.
Nerds, and welcome to another super bad episode of Straight Chilling, the weekly horror movie review show where you chill and we kill, slice, dice, and chop up yet another horror movie. My name is Bob. I'll be your host for the evening. This is episode number 539, recorded on Sunday, August 3rd, 2025. Tonight, we're talking about another Patreon pick. This was chosen by your boy Gabriel. The movie is Chronicle from 2012. Before we get into it, let me introduce everyone else on the show tonight. First up, calling in from Washington, D.C., we got your boy, Rand Diesel. What's up?
And get jiggy with it.
What's going on, buddy? Ready to get jiggy with that?
Spoken like a true apex predator.
All day, baby. All day. God.
All day. Yes, chef. Yes. Apex
God,
Andy.
It felt bad saying that out loud. It sounded too unironic. I would like it to emphasize the irony, please.
Far too believable to hear those words come from your boy Rand Diesel. Last but not least, calling in from Seoul, South Korea, we got Shaboy Soju. What's up?
Oh, what up? It's your boy, Super Stains. Got that superhuman endurance, boys. I just keep going, going.
Gross.
Wait a minute. You're not talking about superpowers. Hold on. You're talking about that other thing.
The hunka chunk.
Uncle Chunk.
That's what we call it around these parts.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, babe, you in the mood for some hunka chunka?
That's just a
It's
new
an
flavor of ice cream. That's what we're asking.
It's a Ben and Jerry. It's
It's
a
a
pint of Ben and Jerry.
Ice cream in a
it's
movie.
It's double P? Okay, damn.
Double P. All right.
Ben
We'll
and
just-
Jerry, huh?
We'll just sit on that for a second. Yeah, we're talking about Chronicle. Like I said, big thanks to Gabriel for picking this week's flick. We do appreciate it. Before we get into the review, though, let's tackle some housekeeping real quick. So we got a new month on our hands. That means we got a poll ended and a brand new poll open. So the August poll is concluded. Orca did end up taking that spot, so we'll be reviewing Orca in the next couple weeks here. Our September poll is currently posted over on our Patreon website. The theme for September is War on Satan.
Whoa.
You got three
Oh,
movies to vote
shit.
between, and they are Black Sabbath, Needful Things, and Trick or Treat.
Bob?
The devil was a motherfucking liar. So you know I ain't worried. Biatch.
I ain't worried, biatch.
It's the first week of August. And football is back, which means
Boys back in town.
autumn is heading our way. How are those numbers looking?
Well, they're looking pretty good. I do want to clarify Black Sabbath is
What?
the choice.
Ah.
I typed Black Sunday on
Did
the
you write in
poll.
Demon Knight?
No.
God damn it, Rob.
Sa-
Every time.
People
It's
on the
just
Slack
sabotage.
were, saying sabotage potentially. I
Oh,
didn't want to
they-
put those words out there, but
Look,
everyone
there were
on
a
the
lot of
Slack is
pitchfork
saying
emojis.
it.
Saboteur Bob over here.
Oh, what?
I-
I didn't realize it was this movie.
Hey, if you guys want to post the polls, go right ahead. But yeah,
Bob,
Black
to
Sabbath. not-
punish
not
you,
Black
I'm gonna
Sunday.
make you keep posting the polls all by yourself.
That's your
That'll teach
punishment.
you a lesson.
Interesting. Wow.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I tried to go in and edit it, and the way Patreon is set up, you can't. I would just have to delete the entire poll and repost it, which means it would get rid of everybody who's already voted. So I didn't want to do that. So yeah, Black Sabbath is sitting at a solid goose egg right now. So
Bob, that's probably because of the sabotage,
it's probably
Mhm.
my fault.
Listen,
Saboteur
all
Bob.
y'all, it is a sabotage.
Listen, Randy, killing it with your Topical references. Second place, Needful Things, sitting at 36% of the vote. And Saboteur Bob just killing it with the Trick or Treat. First place, 64%.
Wow, that's so weird how that turned out.
I
That's
blame
weird that the
Satan.
results are,
Oh,
coming in that way.
let's not besmirch the
Gonna
good
have to
name of
give you
Satan
some
on this,
extra
okay?
punishment, Bob.
Oh
Oh,
no.
oh, there's a new daddy
Oh.
in town, a
Oh
disciplined
no.
daddy.
Somebody teach me a lesson. Oh God. Yes, there's a war on Satan. We're putting Satan back in September, right where he belongs, right where he needs to be. Putting Satan back in Sam Hain. We won't stand for this nonsense.
Sam Hain.
Sam, my boy Sam, man.
Stand up for Satan. Hashtag stand with Satan.
All
Yeah,
right.
get those votes in. You got a long time. So go ahead and do that. And we'll see what we're talking about this September. We're dropping mini casts every other Friday over on Patreon as well. We just dropped one last Friday on Jurassic World Rebirth. That's your boy
Oh,
me
shit.
talking about that one.
Your boy, me.
Your boy me. Your boy I. And you'll just have to tune in to hear what I think about it.
Is that
It's,
our correspondent from China? Our boy me.
me. Me Noth. Yes. Tune in, give that a listen. Next up, we're gonna be dropping some kind of different actually. Your boy Soju and myself are talking about the best horror movies released of the decade so far.
Ooh
Whoa.
la la.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, she's a fancy flapjack.
She
Oh,
is.
top 25 list there.
Yeah. We each made a list of 25 movies that have been released since the year 2020 up till now. And we talked about all those, ran down our list, talked about some sort of themes and like common tropes that seem to be
Yeah, we picked
taking
up on
form.
some as we went through
Yeah.
our list. I'm like, hey, didn't really notice that before.
There's some shit happening, and we
Yeah.
talk about it. And that's going to be dropping Friday, August 15th over on Patreon. A bit of a, not really a mini cast, honestly. It's like just a tad over an hour, so it's just a podcast, basically. But check that out. Dropping August 15th. Also, I want to give a big thanks to everybody that hung out this past Friday for our Joe Bob watch party. He showed a couple aquatic films. The first one was the original Piranha. Second one was Crocodile, which I did not stay up for because damn.
Oh, Bob, that's the good one though, isn't it?
I probably prefer it to Piranha, yeah. So, between those two, yeah.
Oh,
I don't think I've
alligator is
seen
what I was
Crocodile.
thinking though.
Yeah, I was thinking of
Actually,
alligator,
alligator
too.
was what I was thinking.
Yeah, gator in the water, you be in the boat, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Oh, last
true.
thing I've got, at the time of you listening to this podcast, we will have just released a brand new episode of Let's Get Physical Media.
Oh,
Your boy
Bob.
Mikey and myself are talking about our July pickups. So if you're interested in collecting Blu-rays, 4Ks, DVDs, any of that stuff, check out Let's Get Physical Media everywhere you get your podcasts.
Please, pay attention to Bob so he can justify all these purchases. That's important.
Yes.
He
Enable me.
has to keep the podcast going. That's the only reason he's buying them at this point, He's got to
I
have
really feel
something to
like-
talk about.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
It's all
I
the
just feel like
it's
the
all
shelves get
podcast
closer every episode, just a little bit closer.
He's just putting new shelves
He's
in
stacking
front of
them
the
in, yeah.
old shelves.
Yeah, he does that thing with the big crank where you wheel them away, like in
like
an
kind of
archive.
spins out.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
These shelves are like
Criterion
4 deep.
Closet wishes.
Bob, you're gonna run out of room soon. What are you gonna
I
do?
know.
Have you thought of a solution? Do you have
No.
a
Have you
solution
Have you thought
on
about
hand?
getting a high-paying job and then buying $1 million home that you can cram with?
I don't know if that's
I'm really
for
curious
me.
about what you've been thinking about for the next phase of the Blue Room. I just don't really know what you could do.
Where did Bob go wrong? Worrying his friends, sifting way too long through those Blu-ray bins. And it gets worse, he'll have no jet ski, wasting all his dough on those DVDs.
I'm thinking climate controlled attic and then maybe also putting in a basement.
Okay. Bob, answer
One of
me
those
this
famous Florida basins.
real
Okay.
quick. We can move on after this, but at this point in time, right now, has the blues or has the media started to spill out into any other rooms, or is it still isolated to the blue room?
No, it's
All
all
right, we're
contained
in
in
the
this
blue.
one
All right,
room.
we're gonna track
Yeah.
this
Okay.
movement. I'm gonna ask you honestly every now and then and just see how we progress.
We're treating that office much like they treat the ghost compactor in Ghostbusters. You really got to
Yeah.
watch this fucking
So
thing, so there's no escapes.
they just never empty it out, and then you got giant marshmallow mans in the street.
That's what you
It's a huge
get.
problem. That's what you get.
That's
That's
what you
all.
get.
That's all I got. You guys have anything else you want to plug?
I think I'm
No,
all
my house
set.
is clean this week.
Ooh,
All right.
squeaky.
This house is clean.
Let's get into the main event. We're talking about Chronicle, and we're kicking it off with the back of the box.
What's on the back of the box?
Bob, I saw you had this box. You held it up there. Did you buy it for this did you buy it for this show?
No, I've had this for a while.
Just
I
unwrapped it, huh?
no,
Hmm.
it's been unwrapped. I actually think
Just gave it its
Mikey.
second look, huh?
I think Mikey had like multiple copies of this and just gave this to me or something. I don't
Yeah, okay.
remember
That's what we'll
where
say
it
on the
came
audit,
from.
Bob. We'll just go
I
ahead and
this
write
was
that one off.
a freebie,
I didn't know that you got
Mhm.
interest on Blu-ray purchases.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn.
So yeah, you can buy this on Blu-ray. You can rent it. You can stream it. I believe on Max or HBO Max, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, luckily it was on
Um,
my Disney Plus. Woo!
Disney
Disney Plus
Plus.
Woo.
Woo. You can check it out. Anyway, yeah, this is rated PG-13, which is interesting, actually. I kind of thought it would have made an R rating, but this is PG-13 from 2012, runtime of an hour and 24 minutes. This was directed by Josh Trank, written by Max Landis and Josh Trank. Stars Dane DeHaan, Michael B. Jordan, Alex Russell, a handful of other lovely folks. Plot synopsis brought to you by IMDb is as follows. Three high school friends gain superpowers after making an incredible discovery underground. Soon they find their lives spinning out of control and their bond tested as they embrace their darker sides.
We're just normal
Gentlemen,
men.
my normal mangs, have we seen this movie before and would you recommend folks at home check it out? Rand Diesel, kick us
Um,
off.
Sure thing. So yes, I have seen this before. Might have seen it twice, but I know I've seen it at least the once. I know for sure that I did not see it in theaters. I saw it after the fact because I kind of had to be convinced by some people that really loved this movie to finally make the plunge on it. Because it just didn't super interest me, which is interesting because it is a found footage film, and we know I have a proclivity towards that. Do I recommend it? Yeah, I think so. I think that for its PG-13 rating, it does not feel like that most of the time. It feels just like a relatively compelling story. I would suggest, maybe not pay for this, as Bob hasn't, mainly because of some of the people involved. But Max Landis is not particularly good dude.
Yeah, I think
For the
he's the
record.
cooter of the week. Yeah.
Yeah. So, that aside though, yeah, I would generally recommend it on its own merits.
Cool. Juice, what about you?
Yeah, I had seen this before in the theaters, I believe. I was probably around 13 at the time, and at that time I really enjoyed it. Superhero movies were a thing, but not as much as now. I thought, let's see, 2012, that's like when the first Guardians of the Galaxy S came out. So they had kind of moved through their first phase of
Was it
Marvel, I guess. Hmm?
Damn, was it already past Avengers at that point or no?
I don't
Actually,
think
Avengers
so.
came out 2012 too. I think Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy both came out in 2012, which is the same year this movie came. So it was like right when they were.
Kind of rode the crest then.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
kind of, which at the time, was, it was all these Marvel movies, all bright, comic booky and stuff, and this was like dark and like, you know, gritty, and then they kind of moved into that next phase, which didn't really work out too well. But I would give this, I think, a medium to loose, mostly just because at this point now we've become so oversaturated with superhero stuff that you have television shows like The Boys that does a lot of kind of stuff like this, and we've had so many movies and so many Netflix shows and so
Yeah.
many Disney shows and everything that it's just like it's hard to go in this with like a fresh take now, it's very much kind of like a product of its time, and some of the effects live in that time. And so but I do think it's a pretty interesting, compelling story. It's just you kind of have to get through all that now where we're at in 2025. So I would say medium to loose. Bob, how about you? Would you recommend people check this out?
Yeah, I kind of would echo everything you just said, really. I think when this came out, it was probably way more compelling. I think it's still a decent movie, a decent watch, but it doesn't hit quite as hard because we're just so inundated with horror, or not straight up like horror superhero movies, but like we have seen them. Like Brightburn has come out, and like you said, The Boys is, a series that does a lot of this stuff.
Well, the
So we
like
Got
like
that
the
Werewolf by
flawed
Night or
superhero
whatever.
thing, yeah,
that
like
too. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Flawed
there's
superhero,
like the
anti-hero
Watchmen
kind of
of it
stuff.
all. Yeah.
Watchmen.
Yeah, yeah. We've seen a lot of stuff like this. So that's not necessarily a knock on this movie, but I think it just might, temper your expectations, I guess, when you go into watching it
Yeah.
and take in the
I
context
just
around the time this movie was released.
It's crazy to
that kind of
think.
benefits. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say Brightburn came out like 6 or 7 years after this, which just shows you how long
Yeah.
this run of superhero
Yeah.
That
stuff
was an
has been.
R, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think to me it makes it more palatable. I guess I just don't really think of this as a superhero movie so much as I think about
Mm.
it as like a I don't know, like it's like a sci-fi movie, more than anything else, with characters that are very much like, there are some character traits here that you don't see in a lot of superhero movies. So I do think that it runs adjacent to, but not a lot necessarily alongside superheroes.
Yeah. So yeah, that sounds pretty much like a medium to loose recommendation from the Straight Chilling crew. Who
Who
would have
knew?
thought?
A
Who would
legit
have
Who would be
thought?
medium to
non-committal?
loose.
Legit, not a bullshit one. So we're gonna be spoiling the shit out of Chronicle, and here comes your warning.
Spoiler warning.
All right, Bob, you got that plot synopsis?
I got it. Just for you. All
Thank
ready to
you.
go. You're welcome. All right, the plot of Chronicle. Here we go. In Seattle, we see our main character, high schooler Andrew Detmer, get bullied. His mother's very sick and his family's in medical debt. His abusive, alcoholic father is an out of work firefighter who sustained an injury on the job. Andrew's only friend seems to be his cousin Matt. Andrew decides to buy a camera and start a video diary of sorts. At a party, the extremely charismatic and popular Steve finds Andrew and tells him to bring his camera with him. Steve and Matt have found a strange hole in the ground and they want him to film it. They go down inside the tunnel and they find a large glowing crystal object thing emitting weird noises. The camera starts freaking out and it shuts off. We don't see exactly what happens while they're in the tunnel. Andrew goes and buys a new camera, and when he fires it up, we see the three high school kids now have telekinetic abilities. They return to the hole, but it's been sealed off by the police. The kids then start using their abilities to prank friends and strangers. Andrew takes it a little bit too far when he pushes the truck off the road into a lake. The driver almost drowns, but Steve jumps in and saves him. Matt says they need to institute some rules. One, they can't ever use their powers on living things. Two, never use powers when you're angry. And three, never use the powers out in the open. Steve then discovers they can fly. They all agree to fly around the world after graduation. Steve then convinces Andrew to join the talent show and do some magic tricks with him. They put on one hell of a show, and Andrew starts to enjoy some newfound popularity. At a house party, Andrew is about to get laid, but he pukes on himself, causing much embarrassment and razzing from his classmates. A little bit of the hunka chunka. Andrew's dad finds his new camera and is enraged. He calls Andrew selfish for not spending the money on medication for his mom and tries to hit him. Andrew uses his powers and whoops his dad's ass. Andrew flies up into a thunderstorm and has a little bit of a cry. Steve can sense something's wrong. He flies up to meet Andrew and they get into an argument. When Steve refuses to leave, Andrew loses control and strikes Steve down with a bolt of lightning, killing him. They have a funeral for Steve, and Matt confronts Andrew about what's happened. He knows Andrew is responsible for his death. Andrew begins identifying as an apex predator. He rips out Bully's teeth.
know that I'm the cream of the crop.
Andrew's the motherfucking cream, ripping out Bully's teeth at school with his telepathy. Matt confronts Andrew again about abusing his powers, and Andrew says, "Motherfucker, I'm stronger than you, bitch. Do something." And he can't because he really is strong.
Star here, man. That's the way it is.
That's the way. Desperate to pay for his mother's medicine, Andrew robs some dudes hanging out at a park, and then he robs a gas station, accidentally causing an explosion, landing him in the hospital. His dad visits him and says his mother died the night prior while he was out looking for Andrew's ass. Because Andrew ran off, his dad now blames him for his mother's death. Andrew gets really pissed off and blows the side of the wall out of the hospital. He ends up dropping his dad from several stories. Luckily, though, Matt sensed Andrew's anger, gets a nosebleed. He saw the explosion on the news. He drives him and his girlfriend over to the hospital and catches Andrew's dad before he hits the ground. Andrew becomes enraged and destroys downtown. He picks up the car Matt and his girlfriend are in and drops it on the Space Needle. Matt and Andrew have an all-out battle, and Matt eventually realizes Andrew is beyond saving and impales his ass with a huge stone spear from a nearby statue. Matt then flies off and leaves Andrew's camera in Tibet, which is where he always dreamed about going. He tells the camera that he's going to use his powers for good and find out exactly what happened to them down in that cave. He loves Andrew, and he never really thought he was a bad person. Roll credits.
All right.
Boys,
So-
if we had superpowers, what do you think? How do you think that all turn out?
I guess you guys would be kneeling at my feet about now, huh?
I'm a Sigmund predator, so I'd just fuck off somewhere, probably. It'd work
I
out.
don't know, man.
It'd all
So,
work
like,
out just fine.
Just starting off just with what was plainly obvious to me, of course, the incel hunter. This is very much an incel movie. This is got quite a bit of incel coding going on here. This is in fact very. I thought there was a lot of similarities between this and the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie, which I saw a couple years ago. Like just in terms of like watching how somebody like. Kind of the moral of this is like don't treat people poorly because if they ever get a power they might turn on you. That's at least one angle of it, and there's that's how you create a monster or whatever. You have somebody that is given very little opportunity to shine or to be normal and because of abusive situations in their lives, and then they get a little bit of power and they want to abuse that because they've been neglected power their whole lives. So that's definitely a heavy thing going on in this because that's basically Andrew's entire arc.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just felt like I wanted to call that out right away because it was permeating my thinking throughout the entirety of the movie.
Yeah,
you got
but
that
I don't think
incel finder.
as opposed to like the Joker, though, he obviously is not painted in a particularly positive light. I mean, he has some like understanding about maybe why he does some things, but yeah, I don't think it's ever treated in a way of like, ooh, that's so badass, or like, ooh, maybe standing up
like,
for himself
from a
against
viewer
his
perspective.
dad, but
Yeah.
everything else I feel like it's not treated in the same way. Like people are like, oh, Joker's right, or he really
Oh yeah, no, it's not so much but like they create enough sympathy for this character, rightfully so. I mean, it's not unearned or whatever, but like it's just like that arc of the end result
Sure.
of this kind of treatment is somebody who's warped and twisted,
Yeah.
which is not always the case. People
So
go
twisted,
through a lot of
bro.
hell and come out the other side perfectly normal and genial people. Every day that happens.
Yeah. I think Dane DeHaan does a really great job with this role. There's something about him in I don't know. Was he also in Spider-Man?
He was in that. He was the Green Goblin in that
Green
like
Goblin,
second
yeah.
Spider-Man that never. They didn't even bring his ass back for the
Yeah.
for the Marvel crossover thing they did.
He
Shit, I
plays
think I
like
saw
a smarmy villain character like really, really well. I thought he did a great job in this movie. Really, everybody does.
I guess he was in
The
Oppenheimer too. I didn't realize. I was just trying to see like where everybody's kind of at
oh,
now. Oh, he had Cure for Wellness. He was in A Cure for Wellness. I forgot about
yeah, he was
I
that.
good
didn't
in
Yeah.
that.
recognize him from. I was like, I know
Yeah,
this guy from
Yeah.
something, and it's none of those things. But yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're
yeah.
right that it's
And Michael B. Jordan
Of
and
of
course. Yeah.
course.
his cousin too. Like the three of them, the chemistry between the three of them when they're like they're not necessarily like super close and they get these powers and they have something in common and like seeing them do exactly what high schoolers would do, like start pranking people, like they move that lady's car, they start throwing baseballs at each other's faces and stopping them, they
Hmm.
throw the football in the sky and like they do so yeah, all build Legos with their minds, like all that stuff, they're like bonding. I
Yeah.
thought like really worked. The first half of this movie, I think, is, or maybe even first two thirds, are really, really strong. I think
Hmm.
whenever Michael B. Jordan is taken out of that of the movie and like that dynamic stops, the movie, I for me feels like it kind of slows down a touch. And then when they get to the climax, it's like, well, here's a superhero movie, and like it completely changes like in vibe. I don't, which I didn't necessarily love. Did you guys
Ye-
feel that?
Yeah. I thought the middle part stretched a little too long. This time around, I was like, yeah, this is a little thin, because
Yeah.
now I thought it did work well, especially like later because it's really like you said, given Michael B. Jordan time to shine and kind of like give you somebody to like really, really care about because Michael B. Jordan is the best here, in my opinion. And he's such a good dude of having the magic show and him giving him some clothes and
Hmm.
including him and talking about having them talk about like traveling the world and like starting to kind of like give him a little shit, and that's the kind of the problem too is he's like he has no brothers or whatever. He's like completely isolated and he doesn't even know like regular social dynamics. So even just Steve kind of giving him like a little razz, it like sets him off sometimes, like when they're talking about like going to Tibet and he's like trying
Hmm.
to tease him. He's like, I don't know, Andrew, there's no like bikinis in Tibet or whatever. It just like Andrew just like doesn't get it. He's just so serious all the time. So I think that helps build up Andrew's character as well. But yeah, it is very endearing to have this Steve character as well.
Well, I mean, like the Andrew's character is that's such incel energy to be like hypersensitive about minor slights. When you feel like you're being ingratiated into a group of people or whatever, and then they start giving you a little bit of shit, which is what like friends do. We give each other shit clearly all the time. Um, and
I
yeah,
don't
he's
think
just
I
not
ever
like
give you guys shit.
most. No,
Lies,
I'm only ever
slander.
very loving and dole out nothing but compliments and love. No,
I just
like,
really
but
support you guys, put you up on a pedestal,
I'm a
Mm.
really humble motherfucker when you think about it.
with a huge dick.
That's the one. So I don't know, like it's just like the hypersensitivity because he's not he's used to people dogging on him in a way that's not friendly, and so that permeates the way
Yes.
he reacts to that sort of thing. Even though Steve is nothing but like the most genial fucking dude in the world to him, to a fault, I would say almost like he's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah,
fucking patient
yeah.
with this kid. At least like towards the beginning it's like very very genial and good, but like even when he's like having that argument and he's about to get struck by lightning, he's like, dude, what are you talking about? We're like friends, what are you like getting on my ass about? Like, let me talk to me, we can have a conversation. And then he gets struck down. So I don't know, I do think that Michael B. Jordan is the strongest actor out of the bunch here. I actually kind of think like I don't remember his name, but the cousin character is pretty like comparatively operating on a weaker level.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And I his arc is they try and make it happen, but it doesn't quite land for me the way that
Yeah.
uh Anders does. And
Matt,
Steve is
the
really a
cousin.
means to an end ultimately,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
story wise.
that moment. I kind of like Matt in certain instances, really, where he's like always trying to reference philosophers to make him seem
Hmm.
like deeper and more thoughtful than
Yeah.
he really is. But then he has that really bizarre moment where he goes over to the girl Casey's house and knocks on her door just to tell her that he's cool. And it's like such an awkward moment.
Mm-hmm.
I like don't even really know what to take from that scene. And they end up just like dating, I guess, anyways. It's just like very
I thought that
awkward.
was weird, but I
That's
feel like it's
weird.
like trying to point at, like I think the movie is trying to show us that he isn't just doing it, or he's at least learned not to just mention Carl Jung in conversation for the social points of it. He seems to be
Yeah.
trying to like better himself in some way, and that's what he's trying to communicate. But he's an idiot kid, so like I can
Yeah.
kind of get that. And I can maybe she gets that, and she's like sees that he's like making a legitimate effort, even if he's fucking it up, and like I kind of see all that stuff. I just don't know that it necessarily. I just don't know that it's necessarily all that strong in comparison. Like that's his arc to becoming like the hero out of the hero superhero supervillain complex at the end. If the end point is him being fucking Superman, I don't know that he's fully earned that by the end.
No, I don't
No.
think
And it
anywhere
honestly
near it.
would have been like almost better if like Steve, if it was kind of flipped and he accidentally killed his cousin and Steve was the one who was left who had to kind of deal with Andrew. Well, except everybody loves Steve, but it's just
That's the thing.
I feel like they could have made that like the cousin character stronger in a way that helped kind of everybody because and he is trying to like help out Andrew a little bit and Andrew like kind of looks up to him, but Andrew's like so far down that he can't see that he's just like a couple years older and he's also kind of like an awkward kid
Mm-hmm.
too, but just
They're
not
not
in
that far
a
removed.
but not in a like negative way. I mean, but not in the way that like Andrew is, where he, gets
Antisocial stuff.
antisocial and like really antsy and just lashes out at people and stuff like that. Like he can take his licks. But yeah, so I don't know. I feel like they could have like built that up a little bit more or better to kind of draw some parallels between them for where so when he says things like, "Oh, you can't hurt people" or whatever, it like maybe makes a difference or I don't
Mm-hmm.
know or just yeah, that I feel like his character was a little underdeveloped and yeah, him showing up, I mean, it really was just to give him some kind of like, oh, I realize the error of my ways or like, I'm growing and I can kind of take some shit and learn from it and better myself.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's supposed to act as a kind of way to separate him from Andrew to make Andrew's, path seem worse and his seem
Yeah.
better. But yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
just
It wasn't
awkwardly
strong.
done
Yeah.
because I think too, if I remember that was the first change in point of view. They do it a lot more later when we're going like to the hospital cams and the security cams
Yeah.
at the gas station and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure that was the first change like to her blog camera that she carries around that I remember.
Who edited
Mm.
all that shit together? They really had to
I
get
mean,
a lot of stuff. Like.
You
this
always
is
think
found.
about that. I never
I
think about that.
I
Never
I
think of some
do.
do in
person
movies where I
sitting in
feel
an
like
editing room.
I do, but like it's not it doesn't make or break the movie necessarily for me unless it's really really pivotal to things, and it's not here. It's ultimately like it's just a way of getting the story across, and I think it works really reasonably well. Um, until it's like not until, but like I think it works reasonably well to get things started, and then once like it becomes Andrew's just floating a fucking track cam everywhere he goes or whatever, like a drone, like it's sort of like it's almost becomes too cinematic, but it is well justified that that could happen in this situation. I guess.
It
I guess
feels
I'm a little
like
split on that in general.
it just feels like it's not a found footage movie anymore because there
You're right.
you have this omniscient camera that can move anywhere at any point in time. So it just like kind of abandons that, which I like the
Right.
more grounded feel of like these high schoolers, with a
Mm-hmm.
handy cam filming themselves do neat tricks and then it gets out of control. And like I really like that vibe, but when it becomes just kind of like ultimately a lesser good Marvel movie in the climax, I was like, I don't know. It lost kind of that interesting sort of like mesh of horror found footage and
Yeah.
superhero to
It
me.
definitely lost that. I mean, they tried to keep it going by like having different cameras, like different people's
Yeah.
cameras, like filming the carnage once it became like a big event downtown or whatever. Like all that stuff. Like it's not that they don't justify it or what. It's just that it doesn't like the big draw of found footage for me is the immersion of it, and that gets lost. And so I guess that's
Yeah,
what
totally.
we're keying in on here.
The immersion blender of it all.
Yeah.
Um,
So that loses.
but there's some cool scenes. I think most of the CGI holds up here. When they're like flying and what was it? Does Andrew get hit by the plane or was I forget who
No, it's Steve. Steve gets
Steve
hit
gets hit
and
by a
Andrew
plane?
saves him, which makes him even
Hmm.
closer because he's like, "Oh
Yeah,
my God, you
yeah.
saved my life."
That was a really cool moment. I like that quite a bit. Them like, getting picked up in the car and dropped on the Space Needle. Like most of that still holds up pretty well. And it's like a pretty ambitious, I think, to do all that kind of stuff in this movie. I don't know what the budget was for
It's
this,
a
but like
little rough now. It's a
I
little
agree.
rough.
it's not perfect,
The
but.
Legos, the Pringles. I think it's better
Some of
when
it
it's
works
like
better than others.
farther away. Like when they did the so okay, two scenes that are similar, but like the Pringles and Legos looked really rough and bad.
That dude fit like 12 Pringles in his mouth at once, which was kind of
But
amazing.
but when they do the magic show and the camera is much further away, the cards don't look so bad. It still
Yeah.
kind of looks janky, but it looks
It's
better
just limited
further
by its
away.
era.
Yeah, and but I mean, I think he makes good choices like when you switch to different cameras toward the end where they're floating, but the camera is somebody on the ground or something. They're like way up in the sky. That's where you need those things to work. Or like kind of when Andrew attacks those guys and the kind of camera is back and so you just really see somebody go flying or you see him end
Mhm.
up in front of you and the blood is kind of spattered on the asphalt or whatever. Like that's better, I think. Or the teeth, like letting your imagination run, like, oh, he just jumps out and something goes, and then you have a scene where he's like, oh, I ripped out his teeth. You're like, oh fuck, like those kind of things
Yeah,
work
Yeah.
the best.
I would agree.
Like, but
Yeah.
then there's like, I think honestly, it comes down to me about like the effectiveness of what they're portraying so much more than like the aesthetic of it. Like when he fucks with that spider, that even though that does not look real at all, it's very effective to tell
It's
me where he's
true.
at.
I
Like I
actually
think that's
went
a very effective scene.
like when I
Yeah,
was watching.
like,
It's
yeah,
like a very the legs. Yeah, you're right. That was an effective. Like, God damn, man, that's fucked up.
yeah. So
He's
I
an
don't know.
apex predator.
You just kind of got to meet the movie where it's at a little bit, and I think that
Yeah.
when you do, you do get nice moments like that, and a few moments that are just kind of like they're not meant to carry that much weight, so they ultimately seem a little cheesier, like the Pringles, like the Legos. It's like, okay, yeah, that's a little silly, but yeah, like
Yeah.
honestly, with the Legos thing, the thing that was bothering me, and this is like just getting right down into nitty gritty, fucking hair
Oh, here
splitting,
we go.
but it's like, well, it was just like how quickly he like designed it.
Mastered.
Like
Oh.
yeah, he like put all like 3 dozen pieces in place at once and then put them all together. But they were like he had to know where he wanted all those to go very fucking quickly, and it's like those are decisions that you make as you go one at a time, and he's doing them all at once. That's not a
Mm.
byproduct of ESP, or
Yeah.
I'm sorry, telekinesis. That's something else entirely. So it just feels like things like that can stick in my craw a little bit because it's not that heavy of a moment.
Well, also too, there was like the good, when Steve moves the car. That's not hard to do from an effect. Like the car is real,
Hmm.
or it looks
Yeah.
real. So yeah, they could have balanced it a little better, but also too, product of the time, but I think it hurts it ultimately because later on, we still have so many things that are like still trying to do this, but it just looks better and it looks better and it looks better.
Yeah.
And so by that time, you're like, well, this like really starts to take me out of the movie.
Well, I don't know.
Which is,
Like
I mean, not their fault at the time, but
yeah. Well,
you
no,
know,
and like I think they did for the time. I think it looks really great. I will say
yeah,
that. Like I think that like if I was in theaters or whatever, I would be like pretty impressed with what they've done with it. I think that like the issue is that like it goes full like Goku Vegeta at the end, where like they're like flying through buildings and shit, and like all of that
buildings.
Yeah.
groundedness that they spent so much time building up. Like I understand that this is the big like conceptually I understand it, but it kind of hurts again with the immersion aspect, and so like my emotional connection to what's on screen starts to lose as it amplifies the physical effects. So I don't know. I think that I really think that the ideal spot of effects and violence and all that stuff and like battles was when he was like taking out those dudes in his neighborhood and stealing their money. Like I think that was kind of like
Hmm.
the nicest balance of that sort of thing. Having them like straight up like fly through buildings, knock each other, crater into the ground, all that shit. Like it's just a little bit too lofty from where they started.
Yeah, it jumps the
It just
shark.
yeah,
It,
a
I
little
think it
bit, yeah.
totally. I think it totally does. It also like it all goes. It starts so like so small, so like humble, and then it kind of has this like crazy ramp up effect in the last like 20 minutes where it's sort of like gradually
Hmm.
building, and then like that
They learned to
crescendo.
fly. What like
In
more than
one
halfway
day.
through, like 45 minutes
Yeah,
in, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe
something like
beginning of the
that.
third act, something
And
like
then
that.
it just like takes this crazy like jump in tone and action, and also I think in like Andrew's evilness. Like it
Hmm.
felt it felt like he went from like just kind of a fucked up kid to like this,
Maladjusted.
yeah, to like this super evil like through and through evil being. And I was like, that just doesn't make a ton of
You're
sense, and
quasi-evil.
it's not like super satisfying either, because you're like it's way more interesting if he's like, got some sort of internal confliction, or like, but
Yeah.
he's just like evil. He's just,
The thing is, like, I see scenes like the scene where he kills Steve, like that. Like, I understand why that needs to happen to catalyze the third act and like create the schism that exists and all that stuff.
mm,
But it really feels like the bond was strong enough at that point. I feel they portrayed the bond that he and Steve and Matt that they all had together as strong enough at that point for him to be able to confide in his friend a little bit. You know what I mean? Like when his friend came in and like at the party and he had puked on his jacket, I was like, "Oh man, it's all good, man. This shit happens," you know.
yeah.
And like I understand being upset or whatever, but I just felt like there was enough. Like I don't think that the amount of damage we saw him have at the beginning, I think a lot of that has worn down because they've grown to like care about each other, and it seems like that's not in the mix. Like he's just like
Yeah.
falling backwards,
I
which I guess
almost
makes sense, but it just
I agree.
it
I
paints a
think it
shaky
would
ground.
almost been kind of better if he had this descent too, where I think it should have been more clear that it was completely accidental that he kills Steve, maybe as a result of other people. So, as we see, even
Hmm.
though Steve is supporting him, other people in school are still teasing him, like, oh, you threw up on your jacket. Right?
Yeah.
And if that's where, or maybe he even had, like, so if the source of his anger or his frustration comes from that, and in that he's unable to control his powers
Hmm.
completely and accidentally kills Steve and then
Yeah.
spirals
I think
more
the accident is a
because
greater
of
angle.
that. And then it
And
just,
Matt
and
accuses him,
yeah,
like
and instead
thinking,
of,
yeah,
oh,
I don't
yeah,
know.
well, instead of having this, it's ridiculous for them to fly through buildings because why, like they don't have super strength. Like, how can you
And
fly into the? I know
rectangles, I
they
Well,
talk
they've
guess.
about
got,
having a barrier around
yeah,
them,
like a
but they have to
shield
create
around them.
the barrier with their
Yeah.
mind. So it's like you're flying into the concrete, and his cousin is like kind of shit at all this stuff. So it should have been more things like, you know what? It's pretty easy to make lightning and stuff convincing. If there was more stuff like that, where like he's controlling the weather now at this point, he's like causing
Hmm.
lightning strikes to come down and like hit buildings, like that's more believable. Don't fly into the concrete. That was kind of dumb to me. I like flying through the buildings. That's just, you know what it made me think of? It was kind of like the opposite end of what is it? What's that movie called? Glassman, with Mr. Split. What's
Under
his,
Unbreakable.
Yeah,
Glass.
Yeah.
Unbreakable. Yeah, is
Oh,
it called Glass?
the third movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Made me think of
Glass
Glass,
Mang.
where you have these people with powers and they tease some big showdown and then they just kind of scuffle on the lawn, and then you have this where it's like, well,
They need a medium.
yeah, you
Hmm.
need a good medium, no loose. You just need a good medium in between
Extra
this and
medium.
Glassman because yeah, like that's what it just kept made me think of. I was like, okay, well, at least this is a little bit more entertaining than than that
Oh, this is
movie,
definitely
but
better than
it's
Glass because,
yeah.
like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, like, well, Unbreakable kind of has that same thing too, like where the superpowers are there, but they are more grounded throughout. Like, there is no like massive thing or whatever. So, like, but it works in Unbreakable because of the way that it's portrayed, because it's like about discovering what this movie is actually about. Like this movie, like I don't really see it as much of a superhero movie, but it clearly is to most people. So like I think people go in with an expectation that it's gonna be on some level pretty bombastic, and I
Well,
kind of respect the idea that like yeah, we want to get him to this point. Like we want to see how somebody gets to this point with one of their best friends after they get superpowers. We want to see how Doctor Doom and Mr. Fantastic fall out. You know what I
sure,
mean?
yeah.
Like I get that. It's just not sold perfectly for my tastes, especially because it's so interested by way of found footage of being grounded for so long, and then that just sort of starts to fall apart.
Yeah.
I mean, it hits all the beats of a regular, origin story of this is where I got my powers. This is how I learned how to develop my powers. This is what my powers are by showing you how I practice my powers. And then, and then I start to try to use my
Tragic.
powers to affect my life or what, which that was a little bit of a jump to it, like the kind of person they try to paint Andrew as. And especially at the very beginning, it's all about like, oh, we don't have the money for my mom's medicine, stuff like that. And he's able to can like easily pick up 52 cards in perfect order with his mind. It's like this dude never thought to carefully rob a place. Like he's gonna go in and
Yeah.
just toss the dude against the wall and just open up the register. I was like, you could easily secretly rob a place with your mind powers. It's
You
not
could
that
steal a
hard.
purse from across the street and like,
Yeah.
or
Or
somebody's
like
I
wallet.
mean,
go
we
Yeah.
walk
saw him
into a
steal a car.
bank
Like,
and like I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that was
but he
kind
did
of dumb.
stab.
That was like a but I mean, they're young, and I do like that they paint them as like very immature and like they don't like have that kind of thought process going on in their minds. But some of that you have to kind of like be like, okay, I guess so,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like I kind of also give this movie a little bit of grace because I do kind of see it as a even it's PG-13. I said it doesn't quite feel that. I think this feels like a teen movie done really, really well and a general audience's movie done reasonably well, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Like this feels like the teenage aspect of it or whatever, it comes through. Like the fact that this dude is obsessed with talking about how cool he is because he likes Carl Jung and tries to seduce this girl or whatever. Like that all
We've
tracks for
all
me.
been
That
there,
feels
hey
like
boys.
I don't like we teenage boys are ridiculously stupid. So like
Tell you
like
about
we
Plato, girl.
yeah,
This is
Allegory of the
turning
Cave,
you on, right?
bitch.
This
Oh
this is
yeah.
working for you, correct?
Right?
This is
21
working
year
for
old
you. Yes, it
person at a
is.
party.
Yeah. I don't know.
On their
So like
fourth Mick
but
Ultra.
that as this that as
Damn.
like the grounding for the stuff that's going on top of it to me makes it feel like a pretty good teen sci-fi drama. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
meant for
it's
teens
not bad.
almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I was surprised at a PG-13 rating because it does kind of feel like R to me. It goes pretty hard, honestly. I think I think Andrew gets a little mustache twirly to be fair, but that moment where he's laying in the hospital bed kind of pretending like he can't hear what his father's saying, and his father like blames him for his mother's death and then demands an apology from him. That shit is pretty hardcore, man. Like that, I think that moment really, really does like some heavy lifting and like trying to understand why this kid snaps and like goes,
That
evil,
actor.
purely evil, the dad.
Yeah, Michael
Yeah.
Kelly's his name. Like I first noticed him on House of Cards back when that was still airing, and
Yeah.
man,
Oh
he is so fucking
He's
good.
such a piece of shit in that.
He's
Yeah.
such a good piece of shit. And in this movie, he's a little one
Good
note
piece
because
of
he is like
shit.
he has no redeeming
Good little
qualities in this
piece of
movie
shit.
at all.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, when
But
he like he's shit hammered at 7:30 in the morning and then just storms in his kid's bedroom and beats his ass. Like
Yeah,
it's
I'm
goddamn.
looking
pretty
at
tough.
his reel is auto playing on IMDb, and apparently he was he had a bit part as a doctor in Unbreakable of all movies. It looked like.
Okay.
Oh, he's a good
Um,
little piece of shit.
yeah. Anyway, he's
Yeah.
great. He was also in Dawn of the Dead. He was the fucking the
Oh,
remake.
yeah, yeah,
He was
yeah.
the security guard, but he had the crazy handlebar
Hmm.
mustache and shit. He was the dirtbag.
Yeah, he's
He's
one of those
great.
guys where he's in like a bunch of things, and you're like, I know I've seen him a lot, but you
Yeah, he's a
can't
good
Yeah.
character
really.
actor. Like he's in
Yeah,
Man of Steel apparently, but I don't think I saw that.
Huh.
Um,
Huh.
anyway, I
I don't
think he's
remember
great.
where he
I
is
was
now.
happy to see him, and he plays an effective piece of shit, if a little bit too one note. I think like I kind of wanted him to feel a little bit of remorse at his son's bedside or whatever, but ultimately he just goes like fully like full dirtbag, full like equivocating motherfucker, drunk asshole, like
Oh, good
irredeemable.
little piece of shit.
Now, that's another
Yeah,
thing they could have developed even more, I think, is the cousin, when Andrew first does the thing where he pushed the people off the road, and then the guy comes in, he's like, hey, you don't understand why you can't like hurt people, like why you can't push this thing off. And
yeah. We
so
should put somebody in the hospital.
even if he had done a thing where he's like, oh, I think this would have been better instead of just going in there like stealing the money straight up, but being like, hey, I need somebody to help me rob this place. Can you do this while I do this? And I'd be like, Andrew, we can't use our powers to rob it. He's like, oh, I need my mom's medicine or something. He's like, oh, well, I'll just pay it for it then, but then that makes them feel insecure or makes them, shameful or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Like, no, I have this power so I could take it for myself. I don't need like your charity or something.
Mm.
I feel like there
Hmm.
could have been more push and pull between
That would have
those
been interesting.
aspects of more using the powers for morality versus using the powers for like selfish gains.
You could have had the
That's
cousin like agree to help him rob the convenience store and then accidentally die in the explosion, and then Andrew feels like extreme guilt
Yeah, and
from
then
that or
Steve is the
something.
yeah, and then Steve is the one who
Yeah.
has to because Steve is like stronger too, which would make more sense if you're gonna be flying through buildings
Yeah,
because the cousin's
totally.
not good at it. Like throughout the whole
Yeah.
movie, they show the cousin's not good. So
Yeah.
but they do get better. I don't know. Like I think like while I agree that like they could, especially with the cousin, I feel like there need to be a little bit more development. But I I do think that that's where like the feeling of a teen drama comes in handy for me because like to the point of you saying it felt thin earlier, like I kind of felt like to my brain it felt like that was an accessibility thing. You know what I mean? Like, you don't go to watch fucking the Lizzie McGuire movie expecting fucking Chinatown, right?
yes, I
Like, there's
do.
the depth
I
of
do.
characters need hits a certain level that's understandable to a teenage audience. That's where my brain was at with this, and I know that that's in spite of the fact that the movie feels like it's right on the edge of becoming something a little bit better than that. You know what I mean? I just think it's like it feels like at the top end of that spectrum rather than in the middle section of
Mm.
a typical movie experience.
You do love a good edging, Randy.
That's
You
I'm well
bring it
known for
up
my edging.
every episode, pretty much.
And incel behavior is always on the top of your dome, which
It's
is
true.
Look, I know my business, ladies.
interesting.
Okay.
The business of edging incels.
Damn.
We
Jesus Christ.
any other major points before we rate this thing? Time to land the
Yeah,
plane,
nothing
boys.
major, no.
Okay.
All right. Let's do it. Out of five, Rand Diesel. How do you feel about Chronicle?
Yeah, like I mean, I feel like I was kind of summing up my feelings in general a second ago. I really do like this movie. It feels like a pretty easy to understand story. It's very like straightforward. It does some really solid immersion stuff at the beginning. Its effects were effective for its time, more effective then than now, but still relatively effective. And good performances, all that stuff. I do think that like my adult brain would appreciate more depth, especially out of like the relationship between Matt and his cousin, Matt and Andrew. I feel like even as something as simple as just like having, like you said earlier, having Steve like that lightning bolt be a product of rage, uncontrolled rage, uncontrolled powers, and him being like, "Oh no, fuck," and then having Matt come around and be like, "Did you do this on purpose?" Because he knows his cousin has emotional issues of some kind, or maybe like having that conversation beforehand about like robbing people or whatever, or like you know, I think something like that could have gone a heck of a long way to radicalizing Matt in the positive direction more effectively. And that's like that, and like the sort of semi abandoning of the found footage aesthetic. Um, are kind of the biggest things that take this movie off the rails for me by the end a little bit. And while I still enjoy myself with it, and it's definitely better than I thought it would be when it originally came out, I had no positive uh, feelings towards it or whatever. I do think it was somewhat ahead of its time because like it was instead of like Watchmen, The Boys, all these movies that we brought, Brightburn even, are all about like what if a superhero was real, and I think there's an element of that here. But this really is about a story of an incel kid or like a kid that's like having fucking severe bullying both at home and abroad, having like the people in his life not caring about him or otherwise dying or whatever. I think that I don't know. The human story, at least at times, is a lot easier for me to jump into than rather the world building and the like the paths to glory ideas or whatever that happen in those other properties. So I do think it stands out amongst the sort of like what if superheroes were real category. Um, okay, that was a little bit rambly. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 3.5. I think it's a pretty good movie. I think overall, and I don't know. With some minor tweaks, it might have gone up to a 4, even a 4.5 maybe, but it's a 3.5 for me for now.
3.5 from Rand Diesel. Juice, how do you feel?
Yeah, I feel pretty similar. I think that it's hard watching it now, no, like having seen so much stuff. So I'm gonna kind of do this. I think this is only my second time watching it. So I'm gonna kind of do this balance between the impression it gave to me the first time I watched it versus like this time. But I do like the story and the dynamic between the characters. I do think that's the strongest. Michael B. Jordan is really good, and I just love watching him in anything he does because he's just a fantastic actor. And I like that Steve wasn't like the typical popular guy, the typical bully. Like, he really appreciated Andrew saving his life and they become closer. And I think this movie ultimately didn't do that justice. I think that they set that up really well, but it didn't pay off fully. I feel like the cousin character is also underdeveloped and could have been given more to do and worked in better. I think the first half of the movie is probably stronger than the second half, and some of the computer effects look janky, but some of them I will give credit for, like hiding it, keeping it far away, and stuff like that. So it really kind of goes back and forth. It's like a positive and then kind of a negative, but generally, I would say I'm much more positive on this film than I am negative. And remembering like how kind of fresh it was at the time, I think I'm ultimately going to give it a 3.25. So just a scotch lower than Randy. Bob, out of 5, where are you going to rate this one?
Yeah, I'm generally on the same page as you guys with this. I think it's a really cool idea, sort of spin on a supervillain origin story here to have it be in this sort of horror feeling found footage style. I think is a really, really cool idea, kind of sticking some fresh paint on superhero movies, which at the time were not as played out as they are today. But I really just kind of like that blend of subgenres, I guess. Andrew, I think, is generally understandable. He seems to have a pretty rough home life. So you get why he might be a little salty, but I think he does go to like mustache twirly with the like apex predator talk. Like I just don't think that should have been in the movie at all. It's just kind of silly. And at the end when he's just, all basically seemingly all of his humanity is gone and he's raining down, giant panes of glass on just completely innocent people around him for no reason at all, just doesn't really jive with the kid that we see in the movie. It's just he just kind of turns into someone else. I don't even think he tries to like go find where his dad went. Yeah, I mean, that was the whole thing. Like he dropped his dad, tried to kill his dad, and like I don't think he ever even tried to go find him or he just started murdering innocent people, which is like, well, that doesn't make any sense. So there's like some choices specifically, like I said, during the climax of this movie that I don't particularly care for. It does feel just like the found footage stuff is completely given up on, which is a large reason why I actually dig this movie. So I just miss it when it kind of goes away. Yeah, the back and forth between the three main characters are great. The sort of bullying in high school, like all that stuff, I think really comes through well. And like seeing Andrew turn his powers against his bullies, like all that makes sense. And I wish they would have just kept it sort of on that level. Him accidentally pushing the car into the lake and like not being quite as remorseful as he ought to be, like all that stuff really I think works quite well. And Michael B. Jordan in this, he's great in everything. I wish he would have stuck around a little longer in the movie. Overall, a pretty cool idea with some really great moments. I think the magic show might actually be my favorite moment. Seeing that crazy glowing thing down in the cave was interesting and cool, and they don't over explain it, which is great. I think that's really smart. So yeah, there's some good ideas here. I think it's mostly successful. I don't necessarily love it. I don't think it's something that I'm gonna like Jones to like rewatch over and over again, but definitely more good than bad here on this one. I'll come in with a 3 flat, and that's gonna put our aggregate at 3.25 for Chronicle. And whenever you guys pick a movie for us to review via Patreon, we do encourage you to send over a voicemail or an email with your own thoughts and ratings. And Gabriel did send in an email. So let's hear what he's got to say. Juice, you got that pulled up?
He did. Yes. He said, Straight Chilling Crew, what's up? My U pick selection of Chronicle 2012 thoughts here goes. Michael B. Jordan makes this whole movie. The end. Um, Seriously though, the Steve Montgomery character in this is top notch, super nice dude. When he is killed off, the movie loses its momentum fast. Yeah, it finally then turns the action into gear with sympathetic Andrew becoming the film's villain and finally puts his superhero powers in full evil display. But the movie definitely becomes depressing at that point, in my opinion. But that is what makes this movie well paced and well written. I don't really want to get into the special effects, get into if the special effects still holds up, but I will say all the scenes with the three playing pranks and learning what they could do is very entertaining. Chronicle nailed its different, unique look at the found footage genre, in the found footage genre and its use of how and why everything is being recorded. Ashley Hinshaw, who plays Casey, is absolutely beautiful in this movie. Okay. If anyone also agrees, watch the movie about Cherry. Hey, now moving on. We didn't even really talk about her. Her character didn't really do anything, right? Like,
No female character in this has a very substantial role.
yeah. Okay.
They're
Yeah.
kind of they're kind of women in the fridge situation, to be perfectly honest.
But then none of them die, though, do they?
The mom does.
The
The
mom.
mom, yeah.
Okay. I kind of like not knowing what it was exactly that gives them their powers. Here's a list of other things that I liked. Andrew and Matt being good friends and cousins because I can relate to that. Hitting each other with baseballs, playing beer pong, throwing the football in the sky, the jump scare underground, Andrew's short-lived popularity. By the way, I thought that girl's hair was red, not pink. Andrew saying he's not recording the cheerleaders, but he really is. Saying he's not recording the guy's girlfriend at the rave party, but he really is. The spider. The song Price Tag that is played in the beginning. Sing It Soju. I don't know this. I don't think I know the song. He wrote the lyrics. It's not about the money, money, money. We don't need your money, money, money. We just want to make the world dance. Forget about the price tag. I don't remember
You're
that.
a bullshit artist.
Overall, I consider this a fun and really sad sci-fi chiller that isn't too long, really kicks you in the gut when Steve is gone, whom I do believe would have forgiven Andrew if he could actually tell him. Also, too, I want to make a note. I'm not done with the email yet, but at his gravesite, didn't they use a picture of him in The Wire? Did you guys notice that? At Steve's gravesite, they
Oh,
have
no, I
little
didn't.
pictures of him, and I'm pretty sure one of him is as Wallace. In
Oh my God.
and
I
I
didn't
thought
pick
that
up.
was a
There,
little
there
Easter
Wallace
egg.
at.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like him sitting on one of the stoops or something like, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that's a Wallace picture. I could be wrong.
Damn.
But that was just my first thought because it was around the same age he was Wallace in the picture, so that's what made me think of it.
Damn.
I hopefully get Randy to rate one of my picks a 3 or above. Well, you got your wish, guy. The highest
did.
rating I have gotten from him was a 2.75 for Paranormal Activity 3, and let's just say my picks for Hollow Mang, The Curve, and Fear were not well received. I love the challenge, though, man. Oh, Fear, man. That was such a good one, though.
Hey, are all of those movies are incel movies? I think, well, maybe not Fear, but
Here's a
the
poop
others.
movie, at
But
least.
they all have
It's
like
a
that same
toxic
kind of vibe.
masculinity
Yeah,
movie.
toxic
Yeah,
masculinity. Yeah, that's true.
totally.
Yeah, they
Interesting
do all do.
theme.
Yeah. Fear. Oh man, that's like one of my favorite episodes. Um,
Forever.
dude, for Eva.
For Eva.
I did receive ratings of 3 from both Bob and Justin for
Uh,
Fear 1996. No matter what overall scores I do get for my picks, every movie and episode have been classics. So thank you guys. I give Chronicle a 3.75 Lego Apex Predators out of 5. Woo. Okay.
Nice. Thanks,
Yeah, good
Gabriel.
picks though. Yeah, Fear is like one of my all-time
Look,
favorite episodes. That one was
dude,
so fucking funny.
I don't
that's a
regret
movie I
watching any of those movies because they led to some really funny conversations, if nothing
Yeah,
else.
good
But
picks
I'm
though.
glad to have given you your wish of an over 3 rating. I think this movie
Fear
deserves
is a rewatcher for sure. That
Oh
shit's
yeah.
wild.
You got to save
I
it
need
for it's
3
Sneaky
drinks
Autumn
first.
though. Remember, Sneaky Autumn. So you got to wait a
Dude,
couple more
Thank God
weeks.
you
watch it
reminded me.
September 21st,
Yeah,
whatever
that's
the first
about
day of
I'm
good.
gonna
autumn
That's
watch it
is.
about
Christmas
good.
Day.
Yeah.
Stop me.
Don't,
Try to
Randy,
stop me.
don't you do it.
Gonna do it.
Don't. I'm
Watch it with
coming
your
over.
dad. Ultimate dad porn. Hey dad, I got this movie. You're gonna love it.
I'm gonna start
Gonna.
regulating your streaming services, Randy.
Your Strymon surface.
I'm gonna regulate
Strymon.
them.
Strymon.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
cool.
Strymon.
Yeah,
make sure
thanks.
you're
Thanks for picking
stryming
my
all the
picks
best
again.
stuff only.
Randy, is there something wrong with your mic?
I don't think
Is
so.
there?
He sounds
You
fine to
tell
me.
me.
Oh, maybe it's my headphones. You guys sound wonky as
Oh
fuck.
no, Randy sounds fine to
Oh,
me.
should we do a quick
Rob, is there
regroup on
something
that?
wrong with your camera? You look
There
stupid
we
as
go.
fuck.
Oh, no,
Hey,
that's normal.
eat my asshole, brother.
Oh, shit.
There we go. I'm back. I'm
Oh,
back.
boy.
Yeah, thanks for picking this week's flick, Gabriel. We do appreciate your support. What do we got? Let's jump over to our Rotten Maters segment, boys. See what the critics and users think.
Certified fresh to death.
All right, gents, this is the Rotten Tomatoes segment in which I'm going to have these folks guess within the best of their ability what the aggregate positive score is for Chronicle on RottenTomatoes.com. Starting as we always do with the tomatometer or the critics score, and then moving over to the poopometer or the user's score. Amongst those critics, there is a total of 185 reviews counted, so not a terribly small sample size there. I'm going to start with Soju tonight. Soju, out of those 185 reviews, what percentage would you say are positive critical reviews?
This is tough with the critics, I think. I don't know because of like when it came out, like we said, it was kind of more groundbreaking at the time. Not groundbreaking, but just, I don't know. I think I'm gonna take the 69 dudes.
Oh, shit. It's been a while. I don't have the bump
Oh
prepared. Sorry.
no. Oh no.
Bob, you're going to have to do the bump for us. Go for it.
69 dudes.
Excellent work. Now, why don't you tell me what your score is going to be?
I don't know what critics are gonna think about this. I guess I don't know, honestly. I guess I'll take the over. I'll take a 72.
72. Okay. Are you trying to get a tie because you
I
guessed
don't
the
think
wrong
so.
number
No,
if you did?
no,
Okay.
it's
All right.
just 72. It just feels right.
Interesting. It's not like if you had just done a 71, you could have been. I would
I
have
don't
assumed.
no, I don't want
No,
it.
we don't want to tie.
Okay. All right.
I don't want it.
We don't
I don't
want
want
to.
it.
Well, the correct score is 71, 70 and a half. So you guys are
70
done.
and a
No.
half.
So let's see. Quick math. 72, 69. Yeah. So about 13 percentage points difference between the correct answer and one of you. And that one of you is going to be Bob, because the answer is 85%
Wow.
certified fresh.
All right.
It's pretty surprising.
Certified movie, folks.
Wow,
Yeah,
it's a hell
Some
ski.
good
It's
reviews.
what it is.
Whoa, Bob, out of
wow.
nowhere. Didn't see that coming.
Wow.
Just snuck it in there.
Oh,
You're
Oh,
just
no.
throwing your hands in the air.
Whoa, Bob.
Oh,
Hell
wow.
sweet. I
Wow.
totally
Oh.
forgot we do that.
I didn't see it coming.
Yeah, congratulations to you, Bob. All right, and we're gonna go to you for the poopometer, the user score. There are 100,000 plus ratings. Why don't you see if you can follow up that win with another here? What percentage would you say are positive of those 100,000 plus?
That's a lot of ratings for the poopometer here. I think it'll be lower than the critics for sure, but like how much lower? You know what, Randy? You know what I'm gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take that 71, that elusive 71 that you wanted me to
Ooh.
have so badly. I'm gonna take that.
Ooh, what a slutty move. All right. 71 from Bob. Soju, why don't you come in and let us know where you're going with it?
I'll take a 75. Maybe most of these ratings are more older than I thought, or more, I don't know. Maybe people aren't as worried about the oversaturation as I am. So 75.
75. All right. Well, this math is going to be easy on this one, because one of you is just a one goddamn percentage point away from glory here. The correct answer, that 72 you guessed last time, Bob. You're going to take it this time, though.
Damn it.
I should have gone with that original feeling, baby.
All skeet tonight, baby.
Whoa.
That sounds like just a routine.
Oh, hell, ski.
I'm so surprised. I almost fell out of my chair. Wow.
Out of nowhere. Never saw it coming.
Never saw the skeet coming. Just
You do, you know.
It was so early. I just thought, it would come later.
Get your hand off my penis!
So the critics
Do you just have that whole clip now, like lined up?
always have, baby.
succulent Chinese meal.
Yeah. So the critics' consensus reads as follows: Chronicle transcends its found footage gimmick with a smart script, fast-paced direction, and engaging performances from the young cast. I don't think that the gimmick is the most important thing. I guess it was for selling it, the movie in.
Yeah, I guess for getting butts in the seats, I think it probably was.
But I mean, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like because they kind of semi-abandon it by the end, it kind of feels pretty loose. So I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's the central gimmick to me.
Real loose. Real
Mhm.
loose.
The loosest. All right, let's read a couple negative reviews, see if there's any humor or truth to them. I'm going to start expanding this to seeking truth too. Because we never find comedy in
We're
these for some
seeking
reason.
truth over here, trying to find
We're
it
over
in the
here
Rotten
seeking
Tomatoes
truth, okay?
comments.
I read Carl Jung, so I'm pretty cool.
Young.
My boy
Such clever.
Jung. Sorry.
What?
My boy.
Jung. My boy loves Jungian
My boy me,
sciences.
our Chinese correspondent.
My boy me.
My boy.
All right. Here's a negative review. Such cleverness doesn't save the film from predictability and contrivance. It's a triumph of mindlessness over matter. Wow.
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
dude, that is so hilarious.
That's
Mindless.
Did we find any truth or comedy or both?
I think we found somebody's bottled farts that you can buy online, probably.
I sell those too. That's a big market for that.
Well,
Just fucking.
There's a huge market for that.
I ate a huge bowl of Tech Bookie, and now I'm just ripping them into these bottles and mailing them
Tech
off.
Poke farts. You got to put a signature 1 of 12 on that jar.
They're spicy. 1 of 12. Oh no, those are rookie numbers. You got to bump those numbers up.
And that's very true. All right, here's one more negative review, and then we'll move on. This film's fanboy ejaculate loves you short time as it spews the buildup of what could be interpreted as a story, in quotations, and ultimately ends without
Damn.
one.
Damn.
Man, I take back everything I said about the fart sniffiness of that first comment, because Jesus Christ, this person is absolutely self-filleting. It's
Damn.
crazy.
Never saw the skeet coming.
Well, I think
Came
he's
so
seeking
early.
the skeet with all of his contortionist
Skeet
skills.
seekers.
We're the skeet seekers.
That's
We've got one
We're-
mission and one mission
No.
only.
We're seeking
No.
skeet, not truth.
All right. Yeah, that's it. Fuck the Rotten Tomatoes.
What's wrong with us?
Bob, how's them trivia's
I'm
looking?
fine.
Yeah, we got some trivia. Let's do it.
Skeet seekers. Ho!
It's totally time for trivia.
We're gonna
I'm a
change the name of the
completely
podcast.
normal, humble person, you know.
I know you're humble because you tell me all the time.
I know. That's how you know.
That's how you know it.
How else would you know?
You wouldn't know. It's impossible. Some
I
trivia.
know.
Trivia
I gotta
here.
tell you.
Director Josh Trank made your boy Dane DeHaan, Michael B. Jordan, and Alex Russell live in a house together for 15 days in order to create a genuine bond between the three of the actors. I think that paid off. I think you feel
Yeah,
that.
I think so
Pretty
too.
good.
Sure. I'm actually like, I would have thought longer. They do feel natural together for sure. For sure.
Some natural boys together.
Just some real natural boys.
Living together, you know,
Yeah,
roughing
just
around.
Seeking some skeet. What are you gonna do?
We're the skeet singers living together. It's harmony, baby.
I want
Just
y'all to
natural.
keep me out of that group.
All right, skeet seekers, focus up. We got more to get through here.
Didn't you always want a sex cult? Well, now's your chance. The original story would have had the trio becoming psychopaths because of their powers, but it was soon changed as it was too dark and also would not really make sense to the plot.
Wait, the powers are what now? I'm sorry, I didn't.
They were all
understand what you
three
said.
gonna be psychopaths, I guess, instead of just one.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad that they didn't do that. Like the push and
Yeah.
pull is so important to making this movie work. Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, really have kind of like, or like maybe could have been more good, bad, neutral, if anything. But
Yeah. Could have
Yeah.
even further.
Your boy, Josh Trank, at the age of 27, was the youngest person to direct a film that opened at #1 at the box office. The previous record holder was your boy Steven Spielberg, who was 28 when Jaws came out.
Whoa, that's
I feel I
Pretty
was
solid.
thinking about this guy because after this he did that Fantastic Four movie, which was garbage, and then I was like, man, did that dude just drop off the map? I think
I
he
think
had
so.
one more movie that
he
didn't
hasn't done
do
much
well.
else
Yeah,
that
so I was like
yeah.
feeling a little bad, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I didn't see that Fantastic Four movie, so maybe I would feel different if I saw it. But he did come out with a movie about Al Capone in 2020, and that's
With
really
Tom
it.
Hardy, right?
Yeah, and I think I read somewhere
That
that he was going
sounds
to be
cool.
doing some show with Tom Hardy, but I don't remember what the premise was or whatever.
Michael B. Jordan was also in that Fantastic Four movie, and so is Miles Teller. So he's like work with big names. I know he had a lot of
Mhm.
problems with the studio at that Fantastic Four movie, but I also heard he might be difficult, but that could be from a studio perspective. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if he was just really young and inexperienced and then got into like too big of a situation for himself. I'm
I'm
not
not
sure.
sure either, but I feel like I don't know. I'm basing this off of like the reputation of 3 movies. I feel like I would watch another one from him. I think this movie earns him
Yeah.
another go personally.
Well, let's call him up and see what he's doing right now.
Josh,
Hey, I got
get
a
to work,
script to
baby.
sell you.
It's called Skeet Seekers.
Pretty much explains itself.
You
Yeah,
know
I
what
think
to do.
we're gonna do it the old-fashioned way and start with a title and a poster, which is
Work back
X-rated,
from
of
that.
course. And now you work back from that.
My boy Randy, he's a real good designer. I'm sure he'll whip something up
Oh,
real
yeah.
quick.
I'm gonna
Oh.
come up with the best thing for the Skeet Seekers poster. Don't you
Oh,
worry.
Drop
we-
everything.
We weren't
Make this
worried
your
about
number
that.
one priority.
They were just innocent men.
They were just normal.
They're just
Skeet
normal,
seekers.
innocent men.
One of them was very humble, normal.
That's on the soundtrack for show.
His name was Humble Stain.
If we ever make a movie, that's going on the soundtrack. No matter
That's
what
going on the
film it
soundtrack.
is, that's
We
going.
might
The boys are here to play.
If we made a
Schindler's
movie,
List 2.
it would be out of control. It would be the weirdest fucking thing.
It would be unwatchable. I can assure you of that much.
After I got a couple more here. After this movie grossed 10 times its budget, your boy Trank found himself in high demand by a lot of studios. He was attached to a number of projects such as Sony's Venom. There's a Star Wars spin-off featuring Boba Fett, an adaptation of Shadow of the Colossus, that video game,
I remember
film
that.
based on Image comic book
That
Red
never
Star.
happened.
And of course, the reboot of Fantastic Four. He directed that, came out 2015, critical and commercial failure, which nearly ended his career.
It was fun.
This will be the last one. We kind of mentioned this towards the beginning of the show, but in 2019, after Max Landis, the writer of this movie, was accused of sexual and emotional abuse by multiple women, Josh Trank tweeted, quote, "I 100% believe every word of this article." I guess there was some article that came out about him, about Max.
Yeah.
And then he says, "I banned him from visiting principal photography of Chronicle, and I haven't spoken to him since 2012. So
I have morals. I'm a good person. I have limits.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Wait, I don't. So,
Yeah.
what was his involvement in Chronicle in the first place? If he banned them from principal,
He was a writer.
photography, Oh, a writer. Okay.
Yeah,
I
he
see.
wrote the
writer.
movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I gotcha.
Apparently, he's a
Mhm.
huge piece of shit. I read
He
like
looks
some,
like a huge piece of shit. I don't really know anything. Y'all were like knew his name right
Them
off
Landis
the bat, and
boys
I
are
was like, I don't
wild.
know who this
Yeah,
guy is.
he's-
but he
Max-
looks like
he's
a
a-
cooter.
John Landis'
Bob.
son.
Mm.
So they're,
He's-
John Landis is an extremely famous and successful director who was,
he did,
Of his own problems.
he's, well, yeah, he
American
did
Werewolf in London.
Twilight Zone,
Twilight
the
Zone
movie. There was a couple people that died on set, and basically everybody confirmed it was because Landis insisted they make really like unsafe decisions,
Oh shit!
and they were like
Children-
beheaded
children
by a
died.
helicopter.
Oh
Yeah,
my god,
it was gruesome. It was pretty fucked up.
he wasn't
So,
held
yeah.
accountable in any way.
I don't think so.
I don't know
Not,
all the
Court of
details.
public opinion, yes, more recently.
Yeah. I don't think he went to
that people-
jail. Not that I know
No,
of.
nothing like that as far as I'm
God
aware.
damn, dude.
So yeah, the Landis family's sort of got some skeletons in the closet, I guess. But yeah, I read some quotes from Max Landis. And I mean, he just admits to doing some seemingly pretty fucked up shit to women. So,
Yeah.
I don't even, he just says it. So I don't know that there's much
All
I've
right.
To
always been a
interpret.
creeper.
Damn.
really. So
All right.
There you go.
He doesn't tell everyone he's humble, I guess, huh?
no, they would
That's how
think
you
he
know
was
he's
if he
not.
just said it. That's how you know he's, because he doesn't say it all the time. So there you go. That's it. We'll end trivia there on a really, really high note.
Oh, yeah.
And just calmly and coolly roll right into Cooter of the Week. Let's do it.
Straight chillin'. Gooder of the week.
Juice. Cooters. Why are they incels? Tell us all about it.
Oh boy. Well, Cooter's character type, Bob, and a straight chillin' exclusive. Cooter
No.
yeah, I know. Whoa.
One day
How
it's gonna
humble
become
of
an
us.
exclusive.
Bob, you almost fell out of your chair there. Whoa. Cooter has to 3 of these 5 points to be considered a cooter. We want the cooter with the most points. 5
Wow.
points of cooterdom are sexual deviance, manipulation, smug arrogance, overall look and attire, and overall patheticness. Boys, I think we have maybe a couple cooters in this movie.
Yeah.
Suppose so.
And outside the movie, too.
And
So-
yeah, and outside
adjacent
apparently
to it.
adjacent.
Yeah.
The dad, maybe we want to start with the
For
dad.
sure. I mean, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pathetic, quite pathetic.
Quite pathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smug arrogance.
a little bit of arrogance,
Yeah,
but
like
like I think
demanding an
it's
apology from his son, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's yeah,
just irrational. Like I
Yeah,
don't
and
know.
he's
yeah,
like, "What? Who's picking you up? Like, what? This is an adult kid? I mean, he's like, it's like a senior.
It's
He's
like, I
going to
watched
yeah.
some of your
school. Who
footage. It's
cares
like
who's
if you
picking
watched
Probably.
some
him
of that
up?
footage, you would be pooping in your pants, sir. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
believe
he's like
you.
manipulation too, where he's like, "You're gonna keep this camera while your mom suffers," and
Yeah, and he doesn't seem
I
to be
just think
doing
he's
anything to bring
cruel.
money
Like
into the house. Yeah, he
the
is.
thing is,
I mean, he
I don't
like
think
punches
he's.
his son in the face.
yeah,
I don't think it's like I don't think any of that's coming from a place of like trying to manipulate him. I think it's just trying to hurt him because he's a
that's
fucking
true.
abusive piece of shit.
Well, I don't know too though. Like, it's kind of manipulation to like get him to be like not, I don't like when he's like, "Oh, your mom, I wasn't there because of you. You owe me an
Yeah.
apology." Like he's using
Mhm.
these things to manipulate his emotions to put him like underneath himself. Right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I just think that it's like he's just poorly dealing with his own fucking problems, which is that he's a drunk
Mm,
and like his son, who is a teenager, has his own life for the first time ever. And he doesn't really know what that entails. He just knows that he's left holding the bag and he resents his son for that. And ultimately, like he's
yeah.
lashing out.
Oh, and the manipulation too when he's like, "They're not your real friends." Like that's manipulation, I think.
That is
Emotional
manipulation. Yeah, I'll give
manipulation,
you
yeah.
that one. Yeah, okay.
So patheticness, smug arrogance, manipulation. So we got him.
Mhm.
No sexual deviancy, and looking attire. Looks
Looking
like a
fine.
regular
Looks like
dude,
a
right?
dad. Just yeah,
Yeah.
just rocking the dad look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about Andrew?
I mean,
Andrew.
yeah.
Big
Patheticness
time.
Pathetic.
certainly
Yeah.
high on the charts of pathetic.
Yeah, he's a virgin,
The Apex
so
Predator stuff.
first off.
Well, shit. He ain't never seen a Yabo, you know?
What
Um,
a loser.
what a fucking loser. Yeah, no, he's pathetic as shit because like the Apex Predator shit or whatever, it's like the worst, most vicious coping mechanism in the world for
Yeah.
being downtrodden in any
Well, that
way.
goes to the smug arrogance too, right? I'm an
Absolutely, yeah.
apex predator. It's like, okay, buddy. All right.
It's that thing like you
Okay.
get a modicum of power and you just like live in it. That's the only place you want to spend your time, your brain power, your anything.
Yo, I've had so much power for
Um,
so long and I never abuse it. I'm just a humble person like
whoa,
that.
Yeah, it's true.
man,
Just so
you sound like a
humble.
pretty humble guy.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
kind of am. Thanks for noticing.
Yeah,
You're
Uh,
a bullshit artist.
um, so
what else? Looking at tire.
manipulation.
Okay,
Oh,
manipulation. Let's go with manipulation.
manipulation.
I don't know. I think that he's self-manipulating. It's delusional what he's saying about like apex predator or whatever, all that shit, like tearing apart
Yeah.
bugs or whatever. It's all just like a way of justifying his desire to push his resentment towards others that have harmed him outwards into the world wherever it may land. Like that's just common dipshit stuff. That's
Yeah.
Joker shit.
the Joker, baby.
Damn, dude.
So yeah, I think he hits definitely smug arrogance, definitely patheticness, sexual deviancy, not really, except they do blow some girls' skirts up. I don't remember who that
That's
was
true.
specifically.
There's
I
some
don't
girls.
remember who. That was the only moment where they were kind of using their powers in that way. I think, thank goodness.
Yeah.
But I don't remember who specifically did that though. I don't know if
Yeah,
this
I don't
I
remember
think that
either.
was Steve, actually. It might have
might have
been
been
Steve.
Steve. Just what a scamp. Oh, my boy
Oh,
Steve.
can't stay mad at Wallace. Can't stay mad. Um,
Um, is there anybody else that we would consider?
on screen?
Yeah, I
Wow.
don't
Probably.
think in the movie, but I think Andrew and his dad are both solidly cooters.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, Max
Cooter
Landis
family there.
alone. Yeah,
The
yeah.
cooter
Well,
is family.
Cooter
How
family. in Hollywood too, the Landis family. That's
Yeah.
There's this one picture. Hang on, let me look. He had some crazy hair when I first looked him up. What was it? I was
Who?
like, what the fuck?
Landis?
Yeah, Landis. Oh, his
Oh
looking
yeah, he had
attire
kind of like
too.
the Nazi youth haircut for a
Oh
while, I think.
God. And it's like, oh, and his clothes choices are terrible. Looking attire, number one for me. Looking at
yeah.
holy
What are you, a
Jesus.
goddamn Nazi or something?
Dude looks like a straight cooter. God damn.
um,
And then I don't know anything else about him, so you boys take it away.
well, the sexual deviancy, I think, is a
Okay,
lot.
got him. Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably,
and manipulation for sure
yeah, I
by the
guess that's
sounds of
part of
it.
it. Looks like a smug
Yeah.
little piece of shit, I'm not gonna lie. And if his dad
Arrogance
is
is part of that. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
nepotism
he's a
going
nepo baby as
on,
well, and
yeah. Ugh,
you know,
we got him.
so I mean that. Yeah, I think we got him. I
Sounds
Dude.
think we
I
that could have been a
yeah, I
drive-by
sounds like he did a
conviction.
sweep. Sounds you're
dude,
looking at
his
the pictures?
yeah, his clothes are
They're terrible.
what the
I
fuck?
never understand people who have money who just dress so terribly. That's
And
yeah.
he's the like 3/4 comb over
Dude, and
hairdo.
yeah, and there's so many terrible outfits. If you just do a quick scroll, like almost every single one of them, there's like 10 terrible, wretched outfits. I just don't
Freedom
understand how you could
Queens.
dress so badly. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, Jesus
I know.
Christ.
It's bad. It's really bad. So we got him.
Okay, I gotta stop
Did you
looking.
guys just hear a screenshot
Ugh.
sound?
No, I did not.
Okay.
It
I'm
sounded
I
saying
don't
like
want
a
that
that's
shit on
me.
my
bongo.
phone. I don't want that
I'm
shit on
gonna
my
refer to this
phone.
later. Okay.
I save that one for the bank. No.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. All right. Yeah. Max Landis, certified cooter.
We
Lock him
got
up.
him.
We got him.
Mm-hmm.
We got him. We can do a quick little what we've been watching this week, boys.
Hey gang, what you been watching?
Rand Diesel, what you been watching?
Yeah, so not a whole lot of change from last time. DK Bonanza is still very fun. It's very, very good and addictive. Um, Poker Face, continuing down that train. I really like Natasha Lyonne in these roles, and there's a fuck ton of special guests on or celebrity guest spots in that. Um, and it's just fun, light fare. I enjoy it. Watched Final Destination, the original with Beck for the who had not seen it
Whoa.
last night or whatever, and they were like, "I didn't know what Final Destination was, but I definitely did not think it was this." So I think they were taken by surprise by the very concept of it.
Huh.
Yeah. Been rewatching some of this most recent season of Taskmaster on YouTube because I enjoy it so much. Very, very light stuff, and easy to throw on in the background too. And then last, threw on, or not threw on, excuse me. I went down to the theater and watched Together, that Alison Brie, Dave Franco film. Yeah, thoughts on that maybe to come. I'm still gathering my thoughts on that one, but yeah, that's it for me.
Nice.
Soju, how about you?
Honestly, I haven't really been watching anything new. Wrapped up Penny Dreadful season 1, and watching that Korean dating show with all the virgins. So, nothing.
Sounds normal.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
They're seeking that skeet, eh?
I guess so.
You got
Bob,
the Skeet Seekers,
yeah,
new hit
Bob,
show.
what you been watching?
And
To
get jiggy with it.
the whole thing. Yeah, I watched the new Wes Anderson joint, The Phoenician Scheme, and Benicio del Toro is kind of like the lead in that one. He obviously has like a whole host of actors in this movie, like he does in all of his movies. But generally, I really enjoyed it. The last couple Wes Anderson movies were kind of mid for me. I didn't particularly love the last couple, but this one really was a hitter. It
I didn't even know he made a new movie. What's it called?
The Phoenician
Phoenician
Scheme.
Scheme.
And it's about a really wealthy dude played by Benicio del Toro, and
Is
he
it's
has
widely available?
yeah, I've got it on 4K, and you
Whoa.
can rent it and stream it and stuff. It did get a theatrical release. I missed it in theaters though.
Hmm.
But yeah, this dude has this scheme that he's put together to try and make just an abundance of wealth. He's already very rich, but um, kind of a conniving dude. And he brings his daughter along with him to like be his sort of second in command, and she is about to be a nun, so she's trying to like balance his sort of twisted nature. And they go to all these different places and try and make deals with all these people, and it's just like really interesting. I think we've talked about it before on this show, but like how amazing would it be if Wes Anderson actually made just a straight up like gothic style horror movie in like a giant castle with like a family or something, And there's like towards the end of this movie, there's like a couple scenes, a couple sequences where people are like fighting, and he like does really interesting things with the lighting and the camera and stuff. And I was like, yes, just do this for like a whole movie. It's like he's
I feel
kind of
like he
got,
could. What if he
yeah,
did it and like animated like Fantastic Mr. Fox or whatever, but like inspired by like an Edward Gorey
that would be
illustration sort of
sick
thing? That'd be
too.
so fucking
Yeah,
amazing.
I
Because
want,
like
I,
that's like flat, like
yeah,
I don't know. It's tough to describe what I'm saying, but
I selfishly would prefer just the straight up Wes Anderson live
I don't know
action
how spooky
style.
he can
But
make it out. Like I can make spooky, yes, but like scary, I don't know. I don't know what
yeah, I don't know
if
how,
his
how
style lends
scary it
itself
would
to
be,
that.
but I think
But it
he
like
could.
spooky like an Adams Family movie spooky. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably most likely would be something like that. But he does the way he directs his actors is interesting because there's like they're so deadpan and they speak very quickly and monotone most of the time, and it's very deadpan, very flat. But then when one of them does get like angry here or there and like the emotion really ramps up, it hits even that much more because it's like it feels like it's totally out of nowhere, and like the tone of the movie just sort of shifts, and it can become very dark very quickly, but then he usually shifts it back like a moment later. It doesn't linger too long. And I don't know, I think he's got it in him. I don't know if he would want to do that, but it just had me thinking about it. Finishing scheme solid, definitely recommend checking it out. Threw on A Knight's Tale, that Heath Ledger movie from like the early 2000s, sort of like a rom-com where he is a knight trying to make his way up the ranks basically. And yeah, solid like rom-com,
It's a
honestly.
cute
It's
little
just like a
movie, yeah.
kind of a feel-good movie. Yeah, definitely. Good shit.
I ain't never seen that one.
Recommend checking it out for sure. And then yeah, lastly, I also made it out to the theater to watch Together, and body horror is alive and well, man. There's a lot of good stuff that's been coming out over these past couple years that's very solidly in the body horror realm. Together is definitely one of those. Overall, I enjoyed it. But yeah, we might have a mini cast coming down the pike here
Get
before
your hand off
long.
my penis!
Get your hand
No.
off Dave Franco's penis, you skeet seeker. And that's all I've been watching. We do have one voicemail, so let's go ahead and jump over to our hotline screams.
Hotline scream.
If you guys are listening and would like to call and leave voicemail to be featured on next week's show, you can hit us up at 904-638-3231. We got one voicemail. We're hearing from the librarian. Let's hear what she's got to say.
Hey boys, it's the librarian. I just clocked out of work and I had a very pressing question on my soul. What do you guys think about Labubu's? That was it. I just wanted to know what you guys think about those little creatures. If you even know what they are. Maybe I'm just on the wrong corner of the internet, or the right one. Anyway, bye!
All right, pause 30 seconds for us to all look up what that is.
I know. So I found out about this a couple months ago when I went to Japan. They're these like creepy little dolls. They're just like
They
a
look like
little,
Where the Wild Things Are. The kids
yeah,
have
like
the
a little
little like
trendy. I don't
I'm
know
looking at
about
them
their
now.
place on the internet or in social circles or whatever.
people
But
collect them. Yeah.
I mean, people just want to. I don't. People just want to collect things, right, Bob? I know you're a collector, Bob. What do you feel about
Whatever do you
a
mean?
boo boo? You're a bit of a collector. You wouldn't.
Where did Bob go wrong? Were he and his friends sifting way too long through those blue
Labubu.
bins? And it gets worse.
They call me Labubu Bob.
Wasting all his dough on those
Labubu's.
On the boo boo.
I think it's one of those things that in 6 months won't matter at all.
It's like a Funko Pop thing. Yeah,
Kinda,
people will
yeah.
buy them, and then
There's not really a
they'll-
lot of variation to them. They're just kind of different
Is
colors.
it one of those
I
things where it's like
guess.
a mystery pack thing though, or whatever? Because
Maybe could be
those
I
things
don't know.
concern me. Like
I don't have that much
there's like an element of
gambling for
that
kids. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. That bums me out a little bit.
those things are
You gotta get 'em
huge in
addicted.
Japan. Actually, they're
I
getting
mean,
pretty
shit,
big in
we
Korea
participated
too.
in that with Pokemon cards and stuff, I guess. To some
Yeah,
degree,
true, true.
You gotta catch them
whatever.
all. You
Yeah,
gotta.
I don't know. I don't really have any strong feelings about them except that, like, enjoy something to a moderate amount. Stop
Put
being
all
so
your money
obsessive
into
about
it.
things, except for
No,
straight
be
chilling, of
obsessive
course.
about Q-Ch
Obsess
coin,
over us.
please.
Obsess over
The
me.
Q-Ch coin
And
needs to be obsessed
by
over.
the way, I
okay?
sell those canned farts, online. So if you want to get those,
You gotta collect all the
gotta
all the
collect them
brews.
all,
All the brews.
Gotta get the
I
wet.
have them
you gotta get the dirty
labeled
brown.
by what I've been eating recently, so you.
There's
can
a
get
Halloween
different
collection
meals.
coming
Yeah,
out.
Halloween.
Oh man,
Yeah,
the candy corn farts are gonna be
farts.
wretched.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, they're so sweet. They're just.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like honey in your nose.
It's like butter.
Like butter.
Something like that.
Just yes.
Yes.
All right. Did you guys? There's some sort of news article about like, some guy in LA going around sniffing people's butts in public.
Oh, you don't
just
do
going
that?
around and like kneeling down and taking big whiffs of people's
typical
butts.
American behavior.
What
Get some
the fuck?
attention.
Randy
yeah,
over here
know.
just shaming normal folks on the street.
Normal, red-blooded fart sniffing.
Just
Americans.
trying to sniff an ass.
Okay.
Sorry, Randy.
Wow.
Is that
All right.
illegal to
We're just
sniff?
normal men.
What's the distance you gotta be
sexual
for it
assault
to be?
is illegal. I would
But
say.
if there's a distance,
It's just
Is the distance
it's a
an
poop
inch from
check.
somebody's fucking asshole? Is that
They're doing them a favor to make sure they're clean. They're like, hey, you might
Okay.
need to
Oh
you might
my
need an extra
God.
wipe or two.
we're gonna have to take this to Cooter Court next episode? 'Cause,
Public service.
Public service.
Hey guy, you got
That's-
shit in your
God
ass.
damn.
I don't know if you
Fucking-
knew.
Sir,
Social
I don't know if
America.
you
Here we
know,
are.
you got some shit in your ass.
I wonder who put it there. You should really be more careful.
Who put this shit in
I can
my
fish it out if
ass?
you want me to.
Is this Randy's shit in my ass?
Christ. We got Bob.
Lift
Lift
As
off.
long
like
as it's
candy
not in
corn.
my shorts.
You better get it all
Shat
the
in
way
my
in the
pants.
ass.
As long as it stays
We're
in
all
the
looking for the
ass.
guy who shat in my ass.
My
Stop, everyone. Lock the doors. We're all staying here until we find
Everyone's a
out who
suspect.
shat in my ass.
it's like Clue. I've seen this movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
God damn.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Well, they-
damn, man. Okay, something's peeking.
Speaking. Thanks for calling, librarian. That went off the fucking rails.
Yeah, it
Um,
did.
Yeah, it did. Labubu.
I don't know what happened. I blacked out. Call in 904-638-3231. You guys have any prompts you want to throw out for next week's show?
Yeah, actually, based on what I think next week's movie is I wanted some fun road trip stories. What's like your best road trip story?
I
We're
don't
doing
know if that
jo-
has anything to
We're doing
No, no,
I don't
Joyride
think
next
that's
week,
next
right?
week. No,
weapons.
no.
Oh, god damn it. Wait, it's
What's
on
your-
the schedule.
Weapons is on the schedule.
It says Joyride.
Does it?
Yeah. Oh. No. Okay, never mind. I guess I looked at the wrong date.
I was gonna say.
Are
I
we not doing
shouldn't.
Joyride? Never
We are,
mind.
much later.
Save that for a couple
Not
weeks.
yet. Not
Hey guys,
yet.
do we have any prompts? The next film.
Weapons. We're talking about
Actually, I don't
Weapons.
know anything about weapons.
New release coming out in theaters next week. It's the same
Kreger.
director that did Barbarian. Yeah, Zach Kreger.
Mm,
So yeah, there's a couple of trailers out there. I've been trying to avoid them. I've only seen the first one,
Same.
so
I haven't seen any of them, so I don't know
They
anything
did.
about
Zach
it.
Kreger did like the everybody shut off your phone bit at the beginning of Alamo's screening of Together.
Good.
Today.
Yeah, I don't want that
and
shit
it was pretty
spoiled.
funny. He was like, I'm part of a rich tradition of sketch comedians that became horror directors, like Jordan Peele. And then he's like, and John Carpenter was in he made up a bunch of shit. It was really funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, I don't know. Colin, about what are you
Your
doing
favorite weapon?
What are you
with your
wearing?
life? Like, you know,
Call in with your social security number. We'll keep it safe.
What's the
just,
craziest thing you collect? Calling
Yeah,
about
yeah.
your collections.
Yeah, what do you collect? Little boo-boos or
Toenails?
otherwise.
A
Yeah.
collection
Oh
of
my God.
weapons.
Toenails.
Toenails.
Jesus. Fuck.
Scalps.
Tell us about your crazy collections.
You collect soiled shorts.
Damn.
What do you collect? Colin, 904.
Why you gotta go there?
904-638-3231. Tell us about your collection.
Well, excuse me, Mr. Man.
Yeah, excuse me. That's it. Check out Weapons next week. Get ready for the show. We are all over the social medias. Just search Straight Shilling Podcast. We'll pop right up. If you want to join in the daily Slack channel conversations, let us know on one of those social media outlets, and I'll send you a link so you can join in on the fun. We had a couple new people join up, actually,
Yeah, we did.
pretty recently. So very, very nice. Welcome to the community. Hope you guys are enjoying it.
Slack's still going strong, though.
It is.
Sure is.
It's been popping off today, actually. People are talking about all kinds of stuff.
Orgy.
Primarily
That
orgies.
came up.
That is not a joke. It did. So, yeah, check out Weapons. Get ready for next week's show. Until then, all you mother truckers, please keep chilling.
The hunk of chunker.